Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Go Trick section. In this week's section, we will be talking about a trick called 18 and a half. Very, very interesting name for a trick, and let's see how we can set up the trick. As we can see on the board, we have a very normal opening, black approaches, and white pincers. Remember, it's a low pincer, one space low pincer if you want to set up the trick. Black will normally follow up by playing the Kima to try to pressure your corner. Let's say, but if we reach a position like this, this is probably just, this is a normal Joseki, right? So something like this. Then there's no trick inside. But today, to set up the trick as white, you don't have to push and cut. You can play this approach at c7. When a black pushes, black normally would push, white would honey, and when black honeys, we connect, and when black connects, this all looks super normal, right? But I'll tell you the good news is that your opponent already fell into your trap. So now white will push and cut. So very, very, very cool variation. Very brutal from the side of white. Now, what does black do? Let's look at a couple variations. So if black Ataris from this side, white can extend. Black needs to prevent white coming down. So black needs to save the group. And white now cuts. You know, when black tries to attack your corner, turns out we can push here. Black cannot block because now we can just capture stone. That's pretty much game over. So black needs to extend, and when we push once more, black normally connects and we clamp into the corner. And after this exchange, that's pretty much game over for black as well. So there's no way for black to really come out from there. What about black attaches from the other side? Well, the same story. White can make use of the fact that black has really short liberty here. And now we can push. When a black jumps, we can attach him at the 2-2 point. So this fight, I won't keep going, but black is basically gonna lose the liberty fight here, and there's absolutely no compensation for black outside. So terrible, terrible idea for black as well. So it turns out that when white cuts at f4, there's really not much you should black can do, right? So that will be a pretty much winning game for white moving on. So notice that if a black plays something like this, we can block him and shorten his liberty, and black is in a very, very difficult situation. So if black attaches, which is a fancier move, it's probably harder to deal with. Turns out that white can clamp first. Black cannot follow up because we extend and then black is dead, right? I'll leave it to you to verify that black is dead. So black needs to escape, and white extends. These pushes just don't work, right? So white can easily escape, and this is putting black's 3 stones in danger. So pretty much black will go ahead and fix his weakness. And now white can turn first. That's a very good move. Black pretty much has to defend against this Atari, so he extends, and we Atari. Black needs to connect, and now we can keep pushing him. So after pushing a few more times, notice that we can start an attack over here. This is a very difficult game for black moving forward, right? Because our corner is already just fine here. So that's also a very, very bad outcome for black. even if he makes a fancy attach. So looks like the only choice is for black to Atari on top. White pulls the stone out, and now black needs to take care of these two stones here. If these two stones die, white is just going to be leading by a lot, right? There's no compensation black can get from the side. So black best defense is to actually play the c2, right? Like if you play a little bit slower, then white can attach. His corners find your stones are still in great danger. So black has to put max pressure onto white. And now white can follow up by first clamping here. And when black extends, white can now have a very, very good move. So white can first extend, black connects. Notice here, if white attaches, this is a very complicated liberty fight, and it's so unnecessary, right? Like so, black can probably play like this, and well, in fact, this is already a very problematic continuation for white. So it's not at all what white needs to do. White needs just to play the push. Now black has two choices, but really only the blocking at d2 works, right? If black extends, white can push, and after this exchange, black needs to figure out how to basically get these stones out. So and it's really difficult for in fact for black to get the stones out. So if you ever play these, I can push a couple times and block you here. So just to be very vigorous about what I'm saying, there's absolutely no problem over here, right? So looks like white has outside weakness, but when you push when you push all the way to here, now that's where when you cut, I can just capture your entire group. And black's best defense is probably make this uncomfortable Atari here, and try to kill white's 5 stones. But as it turns out, that white can Atari first and Atari over here. Black cannot fill in, so black needs to extend and hopefully come in and kill white. But after white plays the capture, there's absolutely no co-threat for black. It doesn't matter what black plays next, white will capture this group and white will be winning the game. So I just showed you how tactically there's no way for black to really get stones out. So black's correct response is to block at d2. White can now cut at e2 when black is forced to basically capture, and we Atari and Atari here. And now black has no choice but to connect, and white can now net the entire group. Now realize that black has 4 liberties, and white also has 4 liberties. So black needs to immediately start filling liberties. So white will do the same, and we have this capture race. So at this point, you might be confused as white, like what is going on? Like we just got captured, we set up a trick. You just said black fell into the trap, and we got killed. What happened? Well, it turns out that it seems black got a lot in the corner, but I think what white got outside is just too much. This wall has absolutely no weakness. It extends all the way to the 6th line here, and a 5 stone over here towards the right side. So this wall, the value of white's wall is definitely a lot more than what black gets from the corner. Black can absolutely not have enough compensation in the corner. And let's now explain why this trick is called 18.5. So black has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these 5 are also captured. So that's 5 times 2, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and there was a capture over here, so that's 18 and plus F1, that is potentially half point, right? So if black plays a move, there's 1 point. If white plays a move, there's no point, so that's half point. And now more importantly, it's white's turn, and that's just pretty much a winning game for white at this point, because of how strong white is outside. You might not be able to appreciate it too much, especially when you're around 5Q, 6Q level, or even 10Q, or even earlier than that. But I just want to quickly show you a little bit, what we can do with this wall. So let's assume white plays d14, which is not necessarily the best move, right? The best move is probably to go ahead and expand his moyo. But let's say we have this formation, and when a black tries to come in, we can play super aggressive, and this is just a very, very difficult game for black moving on. Right, so this group is pretty much dead. It needs a tremendous struggle to get out of here, right? Because of how strong we are over here. And I believe if you played a lot of games before, you definitely encounter a situation where your dragons get killed, and you make very dangerous invasions, and you just feel like you're trying to invade everywhere, but then you lose by a lot. And this is what happens when you allow white to get such tremendous influence towards the outside. So you might not be able to appreciate it right now, especially when, let's say, your level is not there. But I will tell you that this is, in conclusion, that this is a super good for white. You should definitely go ahead and play like this. And in terms of appreciation, it comes with time, it comes with practice. It definitely comes with watching more of my videos and constantly absorb accurate information, and your rank will go up really quickly. So that is a little bit off topic, but just for completion, I want to show you how I already showed you how white fell into the trap, so how black falls into the trap, but I also want to show you how black deals with it. So the push is fine, but the next move for black is to actually jump and fix his shape. White will follow up by the tiger's mouth, and black will pressure the stone at G3. So likely the game will keep going like this, and this is an equal game moving forward, according to AI software. So white can, right? This is a little bit uncomfortable for white as well. So white probably needs to do something over here. Let's say maybe jump again, or I don't know. There is, if you feel. You can also Tanuki as white to just continue the game. There's no problem. You can play like this. So yeah, that's the trick 18.5. So one of my viewers has suggested me to recap some of the variations. So I'm just gonna recap the main variations because of time constraints. So to get 18.5, you need to very nicely sacrifice your corner. So when a black Ataris, we pull out a stone, and when a black pressure our corner, we can clamp here first. Black needs to block the connection and avoid Atari, and now we can push and cut over here. So now all these are forced, right? So all these variations are forced, and now we extend and we net over here. And this is a 4v4. Black cannot. This is a suicide. Now black is dead. So black cannot really tighten his liberty. So he needs to go back and fix the corner. Now we have successfully sacrificed our corner, and black gets 18.5, and he falls into a huge trap. And now we can go ahead and play our game like this, and then eventually you'll feel the tremendous power exerting from this huge wall here. Alright, so I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, give a thumb up. Feel free to subscribe to get more interesting tricks like this that you can use in your games. Comment below my video, and any suggestions and stuff like that, I'll answer them to my best abilities. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys